Trying to design a path for your free customers to turn them into paying customers? Hey, it's Gary, 3 times head of growth. Today, I'm going to talk to you about product-led growth bumpers. What are product-led growth bumpers? Well, they're design elements inside the app, inside your SaaS tool that guides free users towards the most effective path into becoming and paying customers. And these bumpers are just trying to help your users focus on the path ahead using tooltips, onboarding guides, self-serve documentation, video content, lifecycle marketing messages, and just also encourage users to explore advanced features and use your platform to its fullest. Why do we need product-led growth bumpers? Well, without it, users often get lost. They fail to recognize the value of your software because once they land on to your platform, it's like a jungle. They don't know how to navigate. So SaaS leaders are building product-led growth functions by funneling free users into happy paying customers. It's a funnel. And in this journey, as the free users sign up, they can get lost without these bumpers. So designing guardrails to help them follow a path towards activations, and creating a lot of personalized guidance materials will get people to continue to stay engaged, and they're going to get more value until they reach that aha moment. And then you couple that with behavior analytics so you can identify that drop off in the funnel, and so you can improve some of these bumper designs and make sure that the whole experience is frictionless, user-friendly, and just reassuring them that they will be activated. And that's how you can find that, and then finding that balance between this free user experience and also this incentive to upgrade to advanced functionalities. That's why we need product-led growth bumpers to create all those parameters for your users. So what are the types of product-led growth bumpers? There's an activation type bumper because the goal is just to make sure that the user reached the aha moment, minimize all the distractions, use these guardrails to help them move towards the milestone. And so they could be using empty states call to actions because when they just started, they didn't create anything yet. So creating these call to actions inside the platform, empty state, using walkthroughs and tooltips and checklists, onboarding checklists, product tours, utilizing your in-app chat, and making sure that as people are progressing forward, you're showcasing there's a progress bar, there's a celebration screen, and also double down using success emails. And once the free users reach activation, they're more likely to be retained and less likely to churn. The more they use your product, the more likely they will need advanced features, which is part of your upgrade tier. Once the user is moving towards activation, you also have to couple this with lifecycle bumpers, which reminds the user to return to the application, because retention is the key to upgrading, and having all this emails and alert system to get them back onto the app to experience the core value. And so you could do that with an ongoing onboarding welcome email series, in-app notifications, marketing emails to get the user excited to return to the product, and contextual activation. So like when users hit a certain milestone, introduce another feature unlocking as they're moving forward, minimize those distractions in the beginning, and then as they move forward, unlock more features. Also include webinars, self-serve documentations, interactive content, videos, support, and community that will continue to guide them to move forward and help them navigate how to use your platform. So now that they're activated, they're coming back to continue to use the product, then you need some upgrade bumpers to introduce advanced functionalities, right? So it's really to make sure that these free customers are engaging with some of your paid features, your advanced features, because once they master the basic free features and receive the core value, they're ready for more complex use cases. So having a lifecycle emails, or introducing new use cases, and having product notification to alert on activities, reminding the customer of benefits like how ad blockers or Grammarly, every now and then they'll send you an email to remind you, hey, you've been receiving so many value behind the scenes, ready for the next step. Continue to use documentations to introduce some of these advanced use cases, and having case studies around. With the paywalls, you can introduce features, and then also have customer success with a sales assist motion to also guide them along. So this creates this whole ecosystem and atmosphere so that users can feel reassured to continue to move forward, and they reach milestones. They're demonstrating they're ready for more complex features, and they're more likely to upgrade. How do you create product-led growth bumpers? Map a straight line user journey. Work with your design team on creating a very straightforward user journey. And so that when you create these activation bumpers, you can define the core value, at the path to the core value, and also the requirements that could lead you to help the user get to the core value. So questions you can ask your team is, what are the most direct path to get to that core value? What's the shortest path? And what are the steps that needed to get to that? And how can you simplify that onboarding process to just eliminate all these distractions, eliminating all these other ways you can explore the product, just get them solely to focus into activation and getting the core value. For product lifecycle bumpers, create that engagement strategy. So ways that you can get the users to come back to achieve the core value again. And what are the next milestones? And what are the notifications that they can receive so that you can encourage them to revisit the app? So what are the triggers that they need to re-engage with the users and who have stopped using the product? So what additional support or resource do users need to achieve to the next milestone? How can we personalize those notifications so it can be more engaging? The bonus is basically always trying to get your users back to conduct that core action, because the more time they do that core action, the more likely they have a clear understanding what your product is for, they receive the value, and they understand, hey, I'm ready for advanced use cases. And so for upgrade bumpers is knowing when the user is ready, and then introducing some of those advanced use cases. And so asking yourself, when is the user ready? And what advanced use cases can we introduce to them? And how can we introduce them to them? What's the best way? Is it through emails? Is it in-app notification? Is it through a call with the customer? And the bonus is when they meet that usage requirement and they're ready for that advanced use case, and you can mark them as product qualified lead, meaning they're more likely to upgrade. How do we measure the effectiveness of product-led growth bumpers? So for activation, it's time to value. Have these bumpers improved your time to value? Is it improving the percentage of activated accounts? Is it improving feature adoption rate? For lifecycle bumpers, is it increasing the number of users that are retained over time? And is it bringing back and resurrecting and re-engaging customers that haven't used the product and then getting them to come back? And for upgrade bumpers, what is the conversion rate and the revenue growth? Has those improved now that you have deployed your product-led growth bumpers? What are some common mistakes in building product-led growth bumpers? Well, some mistakes include just having too many in-app bumpers. I know from experience that I was layering a lot of tooltips together and see which one resonate. But when you layer so many tooltips, they just become less and less effective. So creating one path forward for your users to reach the aha moment will allow you to create only tooltips to go towards that. So one journey, and you can find the most optimal tooltip count. The second mistake is these bumpers are leading to too many destinations, right? I understand, like, hey, you want to introduce new ways for them to use the product, but not if they haven't reached the aha moment. They're not ready for some of those advanced use cases. Just create a straightforward journey before adding more complexity. And the third one is that team buy-in on managing these bumpers. There's a lot of these types of bumpers, this cohesive product-led growth experience. Who's managing that? Making sure that your team together is bought in and they're brainstorming ideas together. Previously, I was the one managing it, and when others had ideas, they were just not using these tools and tactics to experiment. So get the team buy-in so that this can scale and have that team cohesion around creating these types of experiences. Follow me on growthwithgary.com or feel free to subscribe here to learn more about how to execute PLG, lead and operate and launch and be successful in SaaS.